What is going on, guys? It's Monday. We're almost towards the end of the day, which I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a fantastic day. It was my first day back in the office after being gone for 2 weeks. And I got to be honest with you, I went to bed pretty early last night. I don't know if I'm still struggling with jet lag or whatever, but last night was pretty, I don't know, difficult, I guess. Yesterday was difficult for me. And I talked a little bit about habits, I believe 2 days ago. And we're going to take a deeper dive into that today. So, success is boring. And you guys might be thinking I'm delirious, but hear me out. So, um, here's what I mean, guys. When it comes to this is my interpretation of life, right? So, particularly when I work with men or I have conversations with men, there's three main reasons why they are not getting what they want. Now, not in any particular order, but number one, they don't know what they want. This is not very common. Most men have an idea of what they want. Most men have a target or a goal, and this applies to women too. But they have an idea of what it is they want to do, right? And this is such an open-ended thing, but typically it deals with two main primary things: money and what do you guys think the other one is? Right? Money and weight loss. Like that's why goals kind of this weird thing for me. So typically, number one is most people don't know what they want, or in this situation. The biggest one that I see is they do know what they want, which would be number two. Number two is they do know what they want, but they don't know how to get it. And I would add on to that, particularly in men, they take the DIY approach, right? So I was there. This was me. I knew what I wanted in different areas, could be in body, being, balance, or business, but I didn't know exactly how to get there. So where do most of us start? We start with podcasts. We start with self help books, and we start consuming all this shit, all the time. I listen to podcasts every day. This is what I did. I love podcasts. I listen to podcast after podcast after podcast because it would start the process of me wanting to change. It would start the motivation of me wanting to move forward and do something different with what it was that I wanted. Or you become this self-help whore and you start reading everybody's fucking book that they're putting out and they're all saying the same shit. Which leads me to number three is you know what you want, you know what is required, yet you're not willing to do the work. And this brings me to the idea of success is fucking boring. Now realize I didn't say the result of success is boring, but success in of itself is boring because how do you get there? How do you become successful? Right? Let's say you read a self-help book, you start getting motivated, and then what do? You start the process, but a lot of times you end up quitting. And this is where guys like me, coaches, trainers, personal trainers, those types of people come in. Because motivation ain't going to get you success. Because eventually you're going to get tired of doing the things, the habits, the routines, or whatever it is that are required so that you can get a result. And that, my friends, is what makes achieving success boring. So let me give you an example. So if you follow me whatsoever on Instagram, You know, obviously I've been gone for 2 weeks, but before then, I get up roughly the same time every day. What do? I get up, I hydrate myself with water, I put salt in it, then I go and I meditate, then I go into my stack, which is my prayer stack, right? And I post all this to Instagram. Now, that is boring. That is simple, basic, boring shit that I do every day. Why do I do that? Why do I post it? I've already talked about I post it for myself, but I'm doing these basic, simple habits that are going to lead me to success or my result. And so oftentimes, guys, we get, I mean, I'm no different than you. We get in this space in our head where it's like, fuck, I'm not getting what I want. I'm not achieving what I set out to achieve. I'm not motivated. I don't. And this was me yesterday. So being real with you guys, like I always promise I will be. So yesterday, I was just in a mood. I wanted to burn the fucking ships, or I wanted to burn everything down to the ground. I was still feeling off. I was angry. I was fucking angry inside, and I had no idea why. And it always brings me back to this quote: "You only win when your facts are stronger than your feelings." And my feelings were yesterday that I was angry, and I didn't know why, and I didn't want to do this, and I didn't want to do that, and I didn't the whole thing, right? So what did I do? I've committed to going live every day. I've committed to posting stories. I've committed to being truthful with you. I've committed to be sharing this stuff publicly. And the last thing that I wanted to do yesterday was this. I didn't want to do a live. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I'm pissed off inside. I don't know why. I didn't want to do it. But what did I do? I wanted to choose success, although boring, and although my feelings were saying not to do it, over the opposite, right? And it's doing that consistently and just doing it when you don't want to do it. So I go live. I'm in my car. I just helped my sister do some stuff at her house. I'm in my car. I was like, fuck it. The Bill O'Reilly. Fuck it. Let's do it live. So I'm driving. I was like, I'm just going to do something real quick on how I'm feeling. And I talked about how your feelings don't often reflect your reality, right? And if you don't understand what I'm saying, what I mean is the things that we come up within our heads are often not tied to reality, right? I had no idea why I didn't want to do a live. I had no idea why I was in this fucking mood. And I was telling myself things, and I was feeling things, and I was like, fuck it, I want to quit. And I had no reason to quit. So I go live for, 3 or 4 minutes in my car. And I talk about this of, just keep going. Keep going when you don't want to do it. Keep going when it's fucking boring. Keep going when everything up here is telling you to stop and fucking quit. So I did the live, and if you're like me, I was like, that was terrible. I should just delete it, but I'm not going to. I just thought it was not good. And then what happens? I call this, God just showing me how fucking wrong I am. I get a phone call from a brother who I've never met in person. I've never talked to him on the phone. And if you watch this, brother, I just want to tell you thank you for that phone call. I appreciate the hell out of you. But I get a phone call, video call. So he calls me through Instagram and we talk for about 8 minutes. And he tells me, thank you for posting that video. It really hit home to me today because that's how I felt. I wanted to burn everything down. Here I am sitting here in a mood, upset, going, oh, that video fucking sucked. Critiquing myself. And here's somebody else who watched it and had the courage and the rawness and the realness to say, you know what, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Because today it put things in perspective for me. And I had no idea that had happened. And after I got off the call, I was like, wow. How many times do I do these live videos? And that same thing happens, yet they don't call. How many times do I do these live videos and nobody's on here live? How many times do I want to quit because it's boring or I don't feel like doing it? And let me tell you guys, it happens every fucking day. And that's the idea of whatever it is you're pursuing. It's okay to have the feelings of wanting to quit. I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, but I have this. If you would have asked me 5 months ago if I'd be sitting here publicly talking to you like this every day, publicly speaking about how God called me to fucking go out and find men who need help, I wouldn't believe it. Not 5 months ago. But that's what I'm doing. And no matter how I feel, no matter these thoughts that I have in my head, no matter how I'm feeling, I know what's at stake. And although I don't know if you're watching this whole fucking video, or I don't know if it's helping you, what's on the other end is monumental. Because what if I decided yesterday that I was going to quit? Because I didn't feel like doing it or because I thought the video wasn't good. What if I had decided to delete that video? Would this brother of mine have seen it? Would he have gone on and burned his fucking world to the ground without seeing that video? And so many of us, guys, so many of us quit. Because we feel like it. We feel like we're going nowhere. We feel like whatever it is we set out to do is not going to happen for us. So we throw in the towel. Yet we don't realize the impact it's going to have on our life. What is the impact of you quitting on your dream business going to have on your family? Yes, it's tough. Yes, it's boring. Yes, it's fucking hard. Yes, you want to quit. What is the impact of that? You don't know. So when I say success is boring, that's exactly what I mean. The journey, the road, the path to whatever it is that you're looking to be different, that you're looking to transform in your life is going to be fucking boring. That's why I get up every day and I post my stories, I cold plunge, I do all that stuff. Yet, if you see it, it may change your perspective. And that's why I do this. I'm not looking to be fucking famous. I'm not looking to sell you on something. God has called me to speak to you. And I say that knowing that someone may watch this and unfollow me. I don't care. My purpose is bigger than you unfollowing me because you get all triggered when I say God or whatever it is. You don't want to coach? That's fine. You want to coach, but you don't want to work with me? That's fine. If I'm not your guy, I'm not your guy. It doesn't stop what I've been called to do. Nor can I let it impact my thoughts, my consistency, my daily boring habits and routines. Because the ones that are supposed to see this, the ones that are supposed to hear the words that are coming out of my mouth, they will see it. And they will decide to take action. So I've had this conversation with another brother multiple times. And I fully understand it. And I love how he broke it down. But the life that I live of cold plunging and not eating gluten and working out every day and doing these things may look fucking difficult. It is not for everyone. And by no means am I pretending to be perfect and put myself on a pedestal. I just spent 2 weeks in Ireland for God's sake. I had a Guinness every day, right? And we both know it has gluten. We both know it has alcohol. But that's what I was there to do. But that's the thing, guys. That's the thing that I'm telling men that I'm working with or I'm going to work with. Like, you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing to get the success. It looks different for you. Why? Going back to what I started with. Most men and women struggle on these 3 things. They don't know what they want. Or 2, which is the most popular, they know what they want. They just don't know how to get there. They don't know what's required to get there. Or 3 are the motherfuckers that know what they want. They know what they have to do. The boring habits, the boring shit that they have to do. Yet they choose not to do it. They choose to quit. That's it, guys. And so I just got off my coaching call and it was fucking fantastic with my coach and my other brothers. And I just felt I needed to share this with you. I felt that I needed to let you know it's okay to want to give up. But you can't just give up. You gotta keep going. Because you never know who's going to call you and say, you know what, I needed that today. I needed to see your video. I needed to hear that message. That's what it's all about. So with that, guys, as always, I appreciate you. This is Paul signing off. Have a great night.